It's hard to believe that it was over 10 years ago that Kawhi Leonard was named Finals MVP that signaled the beginning of his status as a top 5 player in the NBA. And time is moving at warp speed to think that this shot that propelled the Raptors to an unlikely title was 6 years ago. So it's natural that we might have all buried the memory of Leonard deep in our subconscious, not realizing that he's still out there, still performing, and still Kawhi. Over Kawhi's last 15 games, these are his numbers, and the thing that stands out to me most is his effective field goal percentage. To call this big head mode is an understatement. Saying he's on fire is getting closer, and Clippers opponents have had almost no solution to stop him from scoring the ball. And Sunday's incredible overtime thriller over the Warriors was no exception. He gave us one of his all-time great games. As he gears up for the playoffs, you can see he's regained a lot of his explosiveness. Watch how he uses the right foot jab to not only fake Draymond towards the ball screen, but to also allow him to accelerate to the basket like he used to do 10 years ago, getting there before the help can even get close as he slams it off 2 feet. We're seeing this type of fast movement a lot these days, particularly in transition, as he continues to prove he's one of the handful of NBA players that require 2 defenders to stop in transition. Also, if he does draw the second defender, his vision is good enough to identify the best option, like this little handoff to Ivica Zubac, who does the rest. And he's also straight sprinting down court faster than a lot of these young guys, turning would-be half-court possessions into easy finishes right at the rim. Watch him just hit the right trigger down court, where passers like James Harden can easily find him ahead of the field for another easy dunk. It's been truly remarkable to see him transform back into Prime Kawhi during this stretch, and the Nuggets better be concerned. The true test of Kawhi's impact on the game is in his isolation game. While he struggled at various times earlier this season, he's been absolutely dominating, perhaps even more so than in his prime. Here, he attacks one of the best perimeter defenders in the league from the right wing, encounters one of the best overall defenders in the league, and hits them both with a little fadeaway baseline jumper. Time and again, Kawhi plays the MVP role where the Clippers absolutely need a bucket. When he realizes Buddy Hield is guarding him, they clear the floor and let him go to work. It's these types of shots, the pull-up mid-range, which are reserved for the All-Stars. These ISOs also morph into post-ups, and he's always had good moves in his bag. I'm glad to see he nailed this face-up perfectly with his footwork, as that pivot does not budge an inch until the ball has left his hand on the way to the first dribble. In the past, he'd gotten away with a lot of unfair, uncalled traveling moves, and he gets to the rim so quickly, help can't get there fast enough. They'll turn a pick and roll switch into an ISO post-up at any time, as they target Hield again, and Kawhi patiently probes until he can get into the middle of the paint, quick pulling just as Steph reaches in to foul him for the and one. They didn't have to mess around with trying to force a better matchup onto Kawhi. He doesn't care, taking Butler again into the paint and turning over his right shoulder for plenty of space to rise up with a little fadeaway to drop this 12-footer in. Here, he does Lou Dort dirty, and make no mistake, Dort is another of the absolute elite defenders in this league, and he ends up on his seat as Kawhi does his favorite finish, turning over that right shoulder for the fadeaway from 10 feet. Everyone knows it's coming. He almost always turns in this direction, but his release point is high, he's jumping off the ground a lot better these days, and his control on the release is one of the best in the business. He eliminates any and all extra movement. Here's another elite defender that has a distinct height and length advantage. No matter, Kawhi isn't going to beat him to the rim, just to the block, turns over that right shoulder, and gets it off just before Mobley can touch it. This resurgence from Kawhi couldn't have come at a better time, just as they're heading into the playoffs, where their 1-2 punch is severely needed against a formidable Nuggets team. Kawhi's box score output is crucial to the Clippers as well as you, since you can win cash by playing Prize Picks, the best place to get real money sports action. On Prize Picks, you can mix and match player projections from different sports, combine your favorite baseball players with players from basketball, hockey, esports, and much more. Use all the knowledge you get from me, like how Kawhi can get buckets against the Nuggets defense, to make your picks and increase your opportunities. The playoffs are almost here, so download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. Now let's look at how he plays off James Harden, since this dynamic duo is key to any success the Clippers will have. Subtle gravitational things like this pull Kawhi's man towards Harden, allowing Kawhi to attack the closeout with a shot fake and then go to work on the clutch long two over Draymond Green. Wow. We see it out of the pick and roll for Harden too, as he commands two defenders to him in the left wing. This directly forces Leonard's man to rotate to the short roller, so he cuts, nice shot fake in reverse. Even if it's just the hint of a drive to the basket, Harden gets Kawhi's man to turn his back on him, then a simple kickout allows Kawhi to get a step, put Banchero in jail, and then rise up for his patented push shot. Just look at how Caruso steps up to help on the Harden pick and roll. It's just too easy for these guys to create an open three-point shot. And they do it again, this time with an expert split of the pick and roll. Leonard's man incorrectly rotates over, easy pass, open shot, splash. And this is probably the hottest stretch we've ever seen from Kawhi from behind the arc. It doesn't even matter whether it's catch and shoot or pull up. He loves to hop while going to his left on his threes, and it's off before Pajemski can even get a hand up. One of the hardest catch and shoot shots is when you're stationary and jab step into the release, and yet he rises up over a 7-foot contest and swishes it as if the defender wasn't there. And if you don't hedge and recover perfectly, you'll give him an opening in the pick and roll and he will not turn these down. But it's not just Harden who has all that gravity, it's Kawhi himself. And when the Warriors try to smother him when Harden is out of the game, check the 45-foot skip pass on time and on target to Bogey for the open three. Out of this ISO on VP, he knows he wants to get middle where the best three-point shots grow. Draymond loads to his side, the weak side screw up and both go to Zubats, giving Kawhi the easy assist to a wide-open Chris Dunn. Deep in the fourth, even with Harden out there, Kawhi commands another double way out top. He patiently retreat dribbles until he can skip it to Powell, and this directly leads to an open lane and a nice finger roll. If the Clippers can get positive offensive plays out of Chris Dunn, they're going to be very hard to beat. And Kawhi sets him up once again when he draws the double team, earning another assist on the easy jumper. On the defensive side, he's back to his old ways of wreaking all kinds of havoc, especially as a help defender reaching in from behind. This is a lethal combination of effort, athletic ability, and huge, strong hands, as no one is safe in the high post area from the claw. And when he wants to, he'll pounce on any handoffs to his man and just rip it out of their hands, as D'Lo, Garland, and Clay all found out the hard way. The whole defense is fantastic, with their overloading from the weak side in support of the pressure Kawhi is putting on the ball, leading to a lot of turnovers. It'll be hard for any player on Denver to avoid Kawhi when he's giving this kind of effort to jump out on the switch, recovers quickly around the screen, and is able to thwart a paint shot from Wagner with help from Zubats, and then a good closeout contest by Jones Jr. James Harden has also been terrific defensively. He turns this help on the Wagner pick and roll into denial defense to the wing, and then is perfect in deflecting this ball into a steal when his man cuts. Again, we haven't seen this type of energy exerted by Harden on this end, maybe ever. And if he can make 3 or 4 defensive plays a game, I don't see how Denver wins this series. It's amazing to see Kawhi back to his prime level of dominance on both ends of the floor. And if you combine that with Harden's play on both ends, along with what Zubats has been doing the past 5 games, I think they've got enough to put Denver out of their season-long misery.